Hey everyone, today's topic will cover something a tiny bit different. Today isn't about solving a mystery, it isn't about creeping you out, and certainly isn't about something fictional. Today, I'll be telling you a story about a bond of love and hatred, and most importantly, a story about silence. Sit back, relax, and get ready to experience the tragic tale of June and Jennifer Gibbons, aka the Silent Twins. On April 11, 1963, Gloria and Aubrey Gibbons would welcome a pair of twins into the world, June and Jennifer, in Aden in the Middle East, and born only 10 minutes apart from each other. The parents were originally from the Caribbean nation of Barbados, but in the early 60s, as part of the Windrush generation, the pair moved to the United Kingdom, eventually residing in Haverfordwest, Wales. To no one's knowledge, it would be this moment that would start the downfall of the twins. Being the only black people in their neighborhood and suffering of speech impediment, the twins would only communicate to each other. This led them to face severe hardships both in school and outside. The violence and downright racism towards the twins was apparently so harsh that the girls would often be sent home early from school. Over time, this caused them to completely isolate themselves from society. As stated previously, they only talked to each other, but this wasn't all that was to it. The twins had formed their own unique language that only they could understand. This alien tongue of theirs was later revealed to be a rapid-fire mixture of Barbadian slang and English, though at the time, no one else knew this, which meant no one around them, even their parents, could understand them.
We knew we were twins at that age. We had each other. We didn't need anybody else, really. We had each other.
It was also revealed that, apart from each other, their only other form of socializing was with their younger sister, Rose. This decline from everyone else had quickly spiraled into different forms of harassment, such as bullying. It was perhaps this toxic environment that motivated the twins to further lock themselves away from everyone around them. This language that they created apparently started as a game, but they quickly came to realize it was a necessary step. The twins would spend most of their time locked away in their rooms and only accepting food on trays to avoid speaking to their parents. This would earn them the nickname the Silent Twins. The parents grew more worried and in 1977 attempted to separate the twins by sending them to different boarding schools. This however turned to have been a failure, as it only turned things for the worse. The twins would close off completely in an unresponsive state where they would not move a single muscle and spend their days lying in bed. They were eventually reunited, but experts around them started noticing a pattern in their unusual behavior. Apart from this language they had created, their bodies seemed to have worked in a form of symbiosis. For example, in the presence of others, the twins would communicate to each other via eye gestures. Staff who treated them stated it was a form of controlling they had towards each other, though it was unclear which one was controlling the other. The twins would later gather the attention of journalist Marjorie Wallace, who stated, "They had these rituals where they decided between them which one would wake first, which one would breathe first, and the other one wasn't allowed to breathe until the first one did. It was like some sinister childhood game that got out of control." Upon being reunited, the twins went about their odd ways once again, spending even more time away in their room, locked from everyone else. The twins would resort to writing as part of their daily routine. June wrote a novel titled Pepsi Cola Addict, which portrayed a high school character seduced by a teacher, who's then sent away to a reformatory where a homosexual guard makes a move at him. Another activity was playing with dolls, for which the girls would create very specific scenarios, names, dates of birth, and methods of death. However, this wouldn't be the worst of it, as their relationship would soon face a much darker side. It was perhaps the beginning of adolescence that gave birth to this love-hate relationship they now had with each other. In one incident, June actually tried to kill Jennifer by drowning her, and they would write in their personal diaries about such incidents, with one entry by Jennifer reading, "We have become fatal enemies in each other's eyes. We feel the irritating deadly rays come out of our bodies, stinging each other's skin. I say to myself, can I get rid of my own shadow? Impossible or not possible. Without my shadow, would I die? Without my shadow, would I gain life? Be free or left to die? Without my shadow, which I identify with a face of misery, deception, murder. However, despite the hatred that slowly grew between them, the pair were still inseparable, and as their teenage years progressed, they discovered alcohol, drugs, and boys, and in 1981, the twins would go on a rampage of vandalism and theft. This evolved into much more serious acts, where they set fire to buildings including a tractor factory and a technical college. This, of course, wouldn't go unnoticed, and the twins were admitted to Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security mental health institution, where they would spend 11 years. June would often write in her diary. The following is a small piece written the day after the twins were sentenced. Spinning in circles, sick, mental, psychopathic. Imagine how I felt. Me, a mental psychopath, a dangerous, evil, ruthless criminal. Me, at my last torment, my self-consciousness, my violence is known. I am labeled. Now I know my fate. June Allison Gibbons, aged just 19, going down in history as a psychopath. Please God, don't let me suffer as much in my new life as I have here. Let me be bold enough to speak openly. Let me trust the doctors and nurses and no longer be afraid of people. For the past 7 months, I have been a soul with no hope. Don't let this disease paralyze me again, destroying my abilities, tying up my tongue like firewood. During their time here, there were many anomalies with the twins. Sometimes they would take turns eating, which is to say that one would gorge herself as the other one eschewed any food at all, whereupon they would switch for the other to starve as one ate their fill. More spookily still, although they were put into separate cells in completely different areas, nurses and doctors would often enter their cells to find them frozen into poses, sometimes very distinctive or bizarre ones that were exactly the same even though they had no contact with each other. They also showed an unerring, almost uncanny ability to know what the other one was doing or feeling at any given time. During this period of pain and suffering, the twins became convinced that in order for one of them to be happy and live a normal life, the other must die. It appeared that this unbreakable bond they had created has gripped onto them like cancer. It was both a blessing and a curse. For years they lived with each other and no one else, as a means of escaping the hurtful reality around them, but as they grew up, all of that changed. They couldn't let go of each other, but they knew they had to. It was during their time at Broadmoor that they caught the attention of journalist Marjorie Wallace, who spent time with the girls and examined their behavior. She eventually came to the conclusion that they had to sever their bond in order to be free. For this, they made a pact that Jennifer would sacrifice herself so that June could live. In 1993, the twins were being transferred to a different clinic in Wales. Upon arrival, Jennifer would die under mysterious circumstances. The official cause of death was a sudden inflammation of the heart. However, they found no drugs or alcohol in her system, so her death remains a mystery to this day, as it seems that she took her pact seriously and willed herself to death. Before her death, Jennifer laid her head down in her sister's lap, her final words being, "At long last, we're out." After her sister's death, there was indeed a change in June's behavior. She became a normal member of society, often socializing with friends and family, although she never pursued her writing career, stating that she no longer needs to express herself through writing, as she can now speak freely. Their parents believed that their stay at Broadmoor Hospital ruined their lives and led to Jennifer's death. However, it would appear that society as a whole has failed the Gibbons sisters. Growing up in a racist environment, it goes to show just how cruel humans can be around things they don't understand.
But hopefully June, I suppose she'll be able to live for both of them, to make good. I think that would be a fitting tribute to Jennifer's memory if she can, do something with her life.
The story of the Silent Twins is not a scary story. It's a tragic tale of love, hate, and ultimately despair, seen through the eyes of two sisters denied from society, and the bond they had created between each other is one that we could never truly understand. As said before, June now leads a normal life. As for Jennifer, she's buried under a headstone that holds a haunting message.